Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. We are diving into integrated curriculum and thematic teaching today,
Okay.
specifically in early childhood and primary education.
Yeah.
In Nepal,
Sounds good.
we'll be looking at an academic article called Interrelationship Between Integrated Curriculum and Thematic Approach from ECDE to Grade 3
Gotcha.
by Singhi Homi.
All right.
The goal here is to kind of untangle what's driving these changes in Nepal's education system,
Yeah.
how they're playing out in classrooms, and what hurdles they might be facing.
Well, it's a really fascinating shift, and it all starts with how Nepal views those crucial early years of education.
Okay, so let's start there.
Sure.
What is the structure of basic education in Nepal, and how does this integrated curriculum fit in?
Well, basic education in Nepal spans from early childhood education, which starts in age 4,
Okay,
all the way through grade 8.
gotcha.
It's broken down into 3 phases, grades 1 through 3,
Okay.
4 and 5,
Uh-huh,
and then 6 through 8.
okay.
But what's really interesting is the emphasis on ages 0 to 8 as a foundation for a child's holistic development.
Oh, wow.
That's where this integrated curriculum comes in.
Holistic development makes me think about nurturing a child's well-being in every sense.
Yeah,
Is that what they're aiming for in Nepal?
absolutely. We're talking
Uh-huh.
about cognitive,
Yeah.
social, emotional,
Uh-huh.
and even physical development.
Oh, wow.
The idea is that learning shouldn't just be about academics.
Right.
It should be about developing the whole child.
Yeah.
And this integrated curriculum, as they're calling it, is designed to support that.
I'm already curious about how that translates into the classroom.
Yeah.
But first, can we back up and just define integrated curriculum?
Okay.
What does that actually look like in practice?
Think of it like this. Instead of having separate, distinct subjects, an integrated curriculum combines different subjects within a single theme, for
Right.
example.
Okay.
Instead of having separate classes for math, language, and science,
Right.
you might have a theme like Me and My Family.
Okay.
Within that theme, you could incorporate language skills through storytelling,
Okay.
social studies concepts about family structures, and even art projects centered around family portraits.
So it's not about getting rid of subjects altogether,
Yeah,
but rather weaving them together in a more meaningful way.
precisely.
Right.
And it's not a brand new idea.
Oh, really?
If you look back at the progressive education movement of the early 20th century,
Yeah.
folks like John Dewey were advocating for connecting learning to real-world experiences.
Yeah.
This integrated approach very much aligns with that philosophy.
It makes a lot of sense. Now, how does the thematic approach mentioned in the article
Right.
play into this?
The thematic approach is the vehicle for delivering this integrated curriculum.
Okay.
Lomi gives a great example in the article.
Okay.
Imagine a theme like understanding the world.
Okay.
This single theme can encompass science by exploring natural phenomena,
Okay.
social studies by learning about different cultures.
Art through various creative expressions,
Yeah.
and even technology by using digital tools for research.
Right.
It's all about making connections and seeing the bigger picture.
Yeah,
That sounds incredibly engaging for young learners.
right.
I can just picture a classroom buzzing with activity and exploration.
Yeah.
What are some of the advantages of teaching this way? Why is
Right.
Nepal making this change?
Well, research suggests that when you connect learning to a theme and make it relevant to a child's world,
Uh-huh.
they develop a deeper understanding.
Okay.
Instead of memorizing isolated facts, they're seeing how concepts relate to each other
Yeah.
and to their own lives.
It's like the difference between reading a textbook and actually experiencing something firsthand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And deeper understanding.
Okay.
It also caters to diverse learning styles.
Oh, okay.
Some children are visual learners.
Yeah.
Others are auditory.
Right.
And some learn best by doing. A thematic approach can tap into all of those styles.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm guessing this also ties into those 21st century skills we hear so much about.
Absolutely. The integrated curriculum promotes collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and problem solving.
Okay.
Skills that are absolutely essential for navigating our increasingly complex world.
So it sounds like there's a lot of potential benefits,
Yeah.
but I'm also curious about the challenges.
Right.
Lomi mentioned some pushback.
Yeah.
Right. What are some of the roadblocks they're encountering in implementing this new approach?
You're right, it's not all smooth sailing.
Yeah.
In the article, Lomi interviewed several teachers and teacher educators in Nepal,
Okay.
and their insights were really revealing.
Yeah.
One of the biggest challenges they highlighted is a lack of clarity among teachers about what integrated curriculum and thematic teaching actually entail.
So even though it sounds good in theory,
Yeah,
the practical application might be a little bit murky.
exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
There's this misconception that it means complete completely abandoning subject-based teaching,
Oh,
which isn't the case at all.
okay.
It's more about restructuring and reframing how those subjects are taught.
So it's not a complete overhaul,
Yeah,
but it's still a significant shift.
right.
And I could see how that could lead to some uncertainty.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And any change can be scary.
Right.
Some teachers are understandably hesitant to adopt new practices, especially without sufficient training and resources.
That makes sense.
And then you have to consider the parent's perspective.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Some might be confused or even resistant if they're not familiar with these methods.
I could imagine if my child came home talking about understanding the world instead of science class,
Right?
I'd probably have some questions.
Yeah.
How are they addressing this challenge?
Well, Lomi really emphasizes the importance of professional development for teachers. The
Uh,
teachers Lomi spoke with specifically mentioned needing more support with planning thematic units.
okay.
They also talked about the importance of integrating activities like
Yeah.
songs and rhymes,
Yeah.
stories, games, and even creative tasks into those lessons.
That makes sense. It's not just about changing what they teach,
Right,
but how they teach it.
exactly.
Yeah. What about the teacher's understanding of child development?
Right,
And learning styles, is that part of the training as well?
absolutely.
Okay.
The teachers stress the importance of understanding child development and learning styles
Yeah.
because this integrated approach is much more hands-on
Right.
and interactive.
Okay.
They also discuss the challenges of managing small group learning,
Yeah.
which is often a key component of thematic teaching.
It sounds like quite a learning curve for the teachers.
Yeah.
Even with the professional development, how are they measuring the success of this pilot program?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
While the article focuses primarily on the implementation challenges,
Okay.
it does highlight some early positive indicators.
Oh, okay.
Teachers have reported that students seem more engaged and enthusiastic about learning.
Oh, it's great.
They've also observed improvements in students' critical thinking and problem-solving abilities.
That's encouraging. And what about the parents? Are they starting to come around to this new way of thinking about education?
So the article mentions that schools are making a concerted effort to communicate these changes to parents
Okay.
and address their concerns.
Yeah.
They're holding workshops and information sessions to explain the benefits of the integrated curriculum
Uh-huh.
and to showcase what it looks like in the classroom.
Transparency is key in any kind of educational shift. Speaking of why, where does Nepal's government stand on all of this?
Right.
Are they fully on board with this new approach?
They seem to be. In fact, the government is actively promoting the adoption of the integrated curriculum
Oh, wow.
and has been instrumental in rolling it out as a pilot project.
Okay.
They're even developing child-friendly resources that are specifically aligned with this new curriculum.
It sounds like they're really invested in this. I'm sensing a lot of optimism
Yeah,
around these changes. Is that something that came through in the article as well?
definitely. There's a real sense of hope that this integrated approach can help nurture well-rounded individuals
Yeah.
who are equipped with the skills they need to thrive in the 21st century.
It's exciting to see a country embracing such a progressive approach to education.
Yeah,
I mean, imagine a generation of kids who are not just knowledgeable, but also adaptable,
right.
creative,
Yeah.
and able to think critically and solve problems collaboratively.
It's a powerful vision, and it really makes you think about the potential implications of this approach for
Yeah.
education systems beyond Nepal.
That's a really interesting thought. I mean, if learning is best achieved through hands-on experience and making connections,
Hmm.
shouldn't we all be asking ourselves if traditional subject-based learning is truly the most effective way
Right.
to prepare students for the world they're inheriting?
It's a question worth pondering.
Yeah.
And Nepal's experiment with the integrated curriculum provides a fascinating case study.
Absolutely. So let's take a moment to recap what we've learned about this innovative approach to education. We've discussed how Nepal is transitioning to an integrated curriculum
Right.
delivered through a thematic approach,
Yeah.
essentially weaving different subjects together under a common theme.
We've explored the potential benefits of this approach, such as fostering a deeper understanding, catering to diverse learning styles, and promoting those all-important 21st century skills.
And we've also delved into the challenges from teacher training and resource constraints
Right.
to addressing misconceptions and ensuring parents are on board.
Despite these hurdles, there's a palpable sense of optimism surrounding this educational shift in Nepal. They're piloting this new curriculum,
Yeah.
developing supportive resources, and ultimately aiming to cultivate well-rounded individuals who are ready to embrace whatever the future holds.
It's an inspiring example of a country willing to rethink and reshape its approach to educations. What does this all mean for our listeners?
Right.
Why should they care about what's happening in Nepal's classrooms?
If a country like Nepal can rethink its entire approach to education, focusing on the power of integrated learning and real-world connections, shouldn't we all be taking a closer look? What can we learn from their experiences,
Yeah.
both the successes and the challenges?
What could your classroom, your workplace, your community look like if we embraced this more connected, holistic way of learning and problem solving?
It's definitely food for thought. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the evolving landscape of education in Nepal.
We'll see you next time on the Deep Dive. Yeah, it really is. And for anyone listening who's involved in education in any way,
Right.
whether you're a teacher, a parent, or just someone who cares about how future generations are learning, I think there are some valuable takeaways here.
I completely agree. Nepal's story really kind of underscores the idea that change is possible even within established systems.
Yeah.
It highlights the importance of clear vision, commitment, and collaboration in driving meaningful educational reform.
And it reminds us that learning isn't just about memorizing facts and figures.
Right.
It's about cultivating critical thinking, problem-solving skills, and a genuine love of learning.
Precisely. And those are qualities that will serve students well no matter where they are in the world
Yeah.
or what challenges they face.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I'd love to leave our listeners with a final thought to ponder.
Okay.
What would you say is the biggest takeaway from Nepal's experiment with integrated curriculum?
For me, it's the power of interconnectedness. This approach recognizes that learning doesn't happen in isolation.
Yeah.
It's about connecting ideas,
Uh-huh.
connecting subjects, connecting to the real world, and ultimately connecting with each other.
That's a beautiful way to put it, and it's something we can all strive for, not just in education,
Right.
but in all aspects of our lives.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And thank you for sharing your insights. Until next time, keep diving deeper. I get 65.